There we go. This is why I wanted to give it a clean. Right, it's timely. Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest video where we're going to be working on this. This is for a customer, and this was her late father's piece of furniture. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier on this year. So they want to keep quite a few pieces of furniture like the mother and father's. This is one of them. However, they don't want it to be this dark. I'll go over it in a second and tell you exactly what we've got planned for it. They've been told that this is from the late 1700s. Don't know whether it is or not. It does look really old, so what I'm going to do with it is I'm not going to make it look completely new. I'm just going to do like a colour change and a refinish, any repairs that need doing, but we'll go through that in a little bit more detail in a second. But as always, sit back, relax and enjoy, and thanks for watching. Obviously you can see how dark this is. It's in like a Jacobean dark stain. So, but I'll show you the front of it, and it's really nice actually. Even though it's really dark, it's lovely, and it's in reasonably good condition for its age. The finish, I think it might have been refinished in the past, but it's got these escutcheons on it. Now, obviously, I'm pretty certain these aren't original. They are solid brass, and you can see how they've been cared for and polished in the past. You can see the brass polish stuck in the holes. The lock works, but obviously they don't really fit the piece. They hang over this rebated area, so they've probably added on at a later date. Don't know whether these hinges are original. I suspect they might be. Can't see any other holes around them as if they've been replaced, unless there's something underneath them. These again have been polished with like a brass polish. You can see the remnants of the old polish around, and you can actually tell. You can see there it's a lot lighter where they've polished, and they've polished a bit of the finish off. I've had to turn the brightness up on the camera for this one, so I'll turn it down in a second, but I just want to show you these veins in the grain. So it's a quarter sawn oak, a tiger oak, which is really nice. Not all over, but certain areas, so hopefully we can bring that detail out. I'm not doing a colour change on the inside, mainly because of the work that's involved and obviously what that would mean in regards to the price. I am going to do some work on it, but I'm not doing a complete colour change. It's got these lovely drawers, quite crudely built, not finished off at the bottom. Lots of dings and scratches which we're going to try and keep. It's even got the score marks where somebody's marked the centre for the little knob there, so we'll probably keep them because they are quite deep. This is the top shelf, and it's got a crack in it, so we're going to have to try and do something with that. It's just how we get this out without taking it all to pieces, but if I need to, that's what I'll do. And you can see, hopefully you can see, how this has been cut. It's been cut quite coarsely, and it looks like it might have been done by hand. Another indication that this is pretty old. Even though it's got a lock, I'm pretty certain this has been added on after, and the reason being it's a more modern lock, but I'll show you why I think this in a bit more detail in a second. This is the corresponding side, but you can see where a piece of wood has been let into it in the past. So it probably had its original lock there. This is the back of the unit, and what I failed to mention is this is actually a corner cupboard. I may well mention it in the title, I'm not sure yet. But this was wall mounted. So as you can see, the top isn't, oops, that's just coming off, but the top isn't finished. So it's not been visible to the eye, so they didn't finish the top. The back is just rough sawn wood. And this is obviously, I'm not too sure what this is made of, but it's like a tar paper. And as you can see at the side here, this is where it's been attached to the wall in my customer's father's house. Obviously when he's painted the walls, a little bit of the paint's gone onto this, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so all in all, it's in fairly good condition for the age. I do think it's a considerable age, this piece of furniture. There's a lot of use of little plugs, dowels, rather than mechanical fixings like screws or nails. I'm sure there's nails in it, but yeah, there's obviously been some amendments made to it over time. It probably has had a refinish as well. So we'll just get cracking. You can see what happens when you polish things when they're still attached. Yeah, this lock's definitely been added on at a later date. I think that little nail's been there probably just to support that escutcheon. So at one point that would have been a full length. It probably didn't have a lock. So yeah, definitely a newer lock. The slots in the screws are full of polish as well. Makes a nice change, screws just coming out easily. I was thinking these might be the original hinges, but I'm not 100% sure, because if you look closely, there's a plug there, there's remnants of one, and then another part of a plug there, so probably not original hinges either. I've just found this. It's actually a negative. I'll see if I can show it you. Hang on 1 second. It's really difficult to show you. There you go, you might be able to see that. It's actually three people, three men, a big pile of coal, a sack, and some pallets are just like racks for the coal. So it looks like somebody filling coal, and it looks pretty old. Not too sure how old. They've got caps on and the clothes that they're wearing. They've got collared shirts and jackets, even though they're shoveling coal. So I'll keep hold of that. I'll give that back to the customer. Okay, I'm going to try and take these shelves out, at least this one, because I need to try and do some repairs on this. I can see there an old nail, and it actually looks like a hand cut nail. So the shelf looks to be nailed in from the back. I was hoping it might be screws, but there looks to be a nail there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So this is going to be tricky. I'm thinking of taking this board off. I'm hoping it's just nailed in at the top and on the shelves and at the bottom. But if it's nailed through this way, obviously I don't want to pull this board off and rip this edge. Yeah, I think that's nailed into that board. So I'd have to take those nails out, find those, take them out, and then take this board off. Otherwise, if I pull this board off, it may well rip this wood. Right, let me have a think. This back is definitely nailed into the sides, so I don't want to start trying to pull this off. Colouring my hands. Pull this off, because I don't want to damage the sides, which is the finished areas. This shelf, you can see the lines where they've marked where the shelf is inside. This one is quite badly broken, so I could do with taking it. Well, I need to take it out. So I'm going to try and get rid of these nails somehow. It's just disintegrating, this nail. It's completely rusted away. There we go. That's definitely a hand cut nail. Right, I'll persevere and see if I can get the rest out. think it might be nailed in from this side as well. So I found this little mark in the wood, and it's obviously a hole for a fixing, whether I'm guessing it'll be a nail, and I can feel metal in there, so there's a nail holding the shelf from the side. I've been at this forever now, I've not even done anything. Right, I need to get this shelf out. It's not fixed in the best way, obviously. It's just got a nail in there, one on the other side, one. There isn't one either side, it's just one holding it in from the side, and then these nails on the back. So it's not the best way to hold the shelf on, so I'll probably come up with a better way. I'm not too bothered about doing things to this, because it's had multiple things done to it already with the locks and the hinges, etc. So I'm going to drill this out so I can get to the shelf and fix it, because otherwise it's just going to be a broken shelf. And fill that back in with some wax later. This shelf is now loose at the top, but the nail for this one is underneath this trim, and to remove this trim you need to remove that trim and the one at the bottom. It's not happening. So I'm trying to cut the nail a bit so I can break it, and then I can deal with the nail once the shelf's out. Right, it could be some time doing this by hand, so I'll come back to you in a sec. Right, something's moving. There we go. Right, and this is why I wanted to take this shelf out. It's been repaired before, but not very well. Again, don't want to make this look perfect, but I want to try and do a bit of a better repair on it. So best thing we can do, try it. There we go. Break it. I'll just show you this. These are the nails that were in, and this is what I meant by hand cut. You can see how they're sort of squared off and tapered. So they're hand cut, and that one, even though it's an old nail, it looks machine made, that one. So that was obviously part of somebody's repair. So I'm going to use hide glue. Right, just leave that to dry. I think while that's drying I'm going to give this a bit of a clean, because you can see it's quite a bit dirty. You can see there, look. Just wanted to point something else out as well. You can see where this shelf used to be. So at some point somebody's moved this up and put it on a brace. That's what I'm planning to do with the top, is put it on a brace. It's just a lot stronger to do it that way, rather than just relying on nails to hold the shelf in. This is why I wanted to give it a clean. That's just from the inside, that. What's up with you?
Being very, very, very cheeky girl. Is it? You want more? Can't come with me, I'm afraid not. To stay here, I'll be 5 minutes.
You've got to stay with me.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Cheeky. Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely howl. What's up? Nutter. Absolute nutter. That's stuck. I have got tape on the other side of it, but there we go. At least the glue works. I just thought I'd show you this. This is how I've had to clamp this shelf up, because it's a triangle at that side and obviously all these scalloped edges. It was really difficult to clamp that bit to that bit. So what I've had to do is screw some pieces of wood into my workbench, line this up, line that up, and then use the edge of my workbench to pull that bit into this and the brace. No idea how else I could have done it, but it seems to be working, so I'm going to have to leave that to dry, and obviously can't use my workbench in the meantime. Hopefully you can see that. Look at that, it's lovely. It'll pop out again as well once we put a top coat on or a stain. I'm not too sure what we're doing yet. I need to have a word with the customer. Right, I've got most of the finish off these little drawers now. I just want to see what they look like with a bit of a sanding. I'm not too sure what to do with the inside yet. I have given them a good cleaning. I might just go over them again with some white spirit. Okay. The top isn't going to be seen because it's going to be wall mounted, which is why it's not been finished. Now the bottom will be seen, but the bottom's in a bit of a state as well, so I'm going to try and tidy that up as well. But I'm just going to try and clean this and tidy this up a little bit, just so it looks better. Can't forget this piece that I took off it, or fell off earlier. This is the bottom, and it was actually installed on a wall in my customer's dad's house. So this is going to obviously be visible It's not the most it's not the most attractive of things. So I think this used to be fitted on top of a corner cupboard or something like that. I'm going to try and make this look a little bit nicer without doing too much to it. I obviously want to try and keep it fairly original. They don't want it looking new. This is going to have to come off though. That's come apart. Right, I'm going to have a look at that. Right, I'm going to try and take this off now. Wow. Oh, some secrets at the back here. This says Bury FC Football Club. So Bury FC Supporters Club, 1952. The headquarters is in Elsinore Cafe, and this membership card actually covers 1954 to 1955, and it's all the fixtures for that year. So that's interesting. And then we've got these little forks, look like maybe little cocktail sticks. But weirdly, this area doesn't go through to the front, so I don't know how that's got in there. Put that to one side for the customer as well. This is obviously broken away from that, and it needs to be stuck back on, but there's nothing underneath it. This is that's structural. This bit here, it's not supporting anything. This, so it's just to fill in this area. So I've just cut this block down. So I'm going to stick that to that bit down there. Then we've got that, and then I just need to glue everything down and clamp it up. So that's the plan. Right, leave that to dry. Let's have a look at this. I put a little slither of wood in here because there was a big chip. I forgot to film this to sort that out, but it's nice and solid. Right, I'm just going to clean all this up now. I've done this repair, but before I do that, you can see I need to fix this back to this new repair, but it's cracked there, it's cracked there, and it's cracked there. So I just need to do a few repairs on this. I forgot to press record on the camera. All I've done is I've just used this to cut this slither out because it's all snapped there and broke off there and missing. Okay, I want to do something with this. You can see there where this escutcheon's been added and this lock's been added. So they've cut away the beading, but the problem is, once I put this back on, it goes like that, look. Because it's going into this channel. So what I want to do is put a little bit of a support on this side. I've got a piece of oak here that I need to cut down. Okay, that fits. Just need to sand this up a bit because you can actually see it a little. Okay. Right. Obviously they're not the screws. It's just to line it up. Right, just want to give the back a little bit of a clean up now. Whoops, I was doing something on this and I was lent on the bottom, it's upside down this, and I was lent on the bottom of this and it snapped. The shelf's okay, but this support is snapped. Now I was going to change this anyway because it had a split in it. But yeah, it snapped. I wish the other one was as easy as that to get out. I wasn't going to do much to the inside. I just said I'd clean it up and probably just give it a coat of beeswax. But what I think I'm going to do now all the shelves are out inadvertently, I'll give it a bit of a clean up sand and see how it looks. I may stain it in a light oak. It's not oak, it's pine this. Obviously I'm sanding this, but what I'd normally do is try and reduce the amount of wear and damage and scratches and stuff, but on this I don't want to do that. I just want to try and lighten it a bit. I'm leaving a lot of these marks on. These dings here, what I'm going to do is, because I'm not refixing this shelf the way it was fixed, which was just nails in the side, which is what's happened here, the nails have rusted and popped the wood. So I'm going to fix this in a different way. So with these, rather than put a load of filler on them, I think I'm going to use some fill wax. It's a bit more traditional, so. What? So cheeky. What? See that? Come here. Get off! Give me the kiss. Lovely! Oh, that's lovely! Stop barking now. Excuse me. Right, enough. Come on, back to work. Right, I just need to try and sort this gap out at the back. It's a bit obvious. It won't be too obvious when it's up against the wall, but that's what had that piece of tape on the back. So rather than do that, I'm just going to do a slither of wood. Right, I'm just going to stain this a little bit darker just so you can't see the lightness from inside. Right, well, I've got the table saw out. I might as well sort out these shelf supports, and I'm just going to make some out of this, and it's just a bit thicker, so it'll provide a bit more support. Okay, it's taken me quite a long time to get to this stage. There was a lot more repairs than I originally thought. I haven't repaired absolutely everything. I've left more of the cosmetic repairs. So done some, but left some just to try and retain its age and character. I've done the structural repairs that I needed to do. The plan now is, and I've run this past the customer, is the outside of it is going to be its natural finish, its wood grain. So I'm just going to put a clear coat on that. The inside of it, which he didn't ask me to do because I just said it'd be additional cost, but I was going to leave it, just clean it up, but it was really dark and I just thought, you know what, I'll just do it and it's fine. So I've done the inside. I'm going to stain that in a light oak because it is pine inside. It won't look exactly the same, but just trying to get it as near to as I can. Same with the shells. These braces and this repair. And that repair I'm going to have to colour up first, so I'll get on with that now, start doing some staining. It's all done that now. I'm hoping it, well, I think it's going to dry a little bit browner. You can see parts that are drying already. Because I put it on with a brush, it's quite wet. And it seems to have a red tint, a bit more of a red tinge than I wanted really. But obviously it depends what the wood is. It might be cedar or something like that. I didn't think it was, but anyway. Let's see how it dries. The shells I did earlier, they've dried a lot more brown, so hopefully this will just get there, but leave that to dry now. I've just remembered something. This is going to be on show and I've filled in these things, so I need to stain this, and I'm going to stain it in the same oak. These are the backs of the doors, the inside of the doors. I think I mentioned earlier I'm not going to stain these and I'm not going to sand them back because there's no finish on them. It's coming back in the nice oak colour. All I'm doing is using a bit of white spirit or mineral spirit and an abrasive pad. Just giving them a clean. Right, it's timely. Right, it's finally time for the top coat. And like I said earlier, I'm just giving this a clear finish. So I'm going to use my favourite finish on this. This is Gilboy's hard wax oil, and it's going to look so nice on this. Ideal finish for this type of job. If you want to try this, I've got a discount link in the description of this video, so go and check that out. But other than that, we'll crack on. There's a fly coming in my workshop and it's driving me mad. I've been chasing it around the workshop. I think it's the only fly left in the UK at the moment. It's in my workshop. I know these are a different wood to the oak, but rather than stain them, I want to keep these a little bit contrasted because that's what they were originally. I've kept a lot of the scratches and stuff in it just for character. I might as well start cleaning all this up while I'm waiting for that first coat to dry. Right, that's the first thing. I just want to get the backs cleaned. I'm not going to use that on there because it'll scratch it. But obviously that's the back, so it's nice and clean now. Let's do the same with this hinge. Okay, I finished the polishing. I just need to tidy up the screws and everything, but this is done. But I just wanted to show you this. And I didn't notice this when I took these hinges off, but look. They're pretty much the same, but they're not exactly the same shape. That one is smaller, and then that one is smaller again. So this is going to be fun when I put these hinges back on the doors, because these are going to have to go in exactly the same place that they came from. I think these have been handmade, possibly that one, but that one I think has been bought. It's probably a broken hinge at some point, so yeah, little quirk. Right, it's time for the second coat of hard wax oil. I still need to do the back of the doors, but I'm going to do them with the feeding wax, but not until I've done this coat and all that's dry, so that'll be one of the last things to do. Okay, so there's only a few finishing touches to do now. I'm just adding some Howard's Feed and Wax to the drawers, just to nourish them. As you can see there, I didn't take all the stains out, just to give it that little bit of character. Some of the areas where I've had to put a nail in, or there was some wax missing from old nail holes, I'm just going around now and filling those in with this 100% beeswax from Gilboys. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you've liked this video. I really enjoyed doing it. This piece turns out so nice, and Emma actually was a bit gutted because she thought this was one that I was doing to sell and she wanted to keep it, but it's for the customer and obviously it's going back to them. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to those that support the channel, whether that's through the Buy Me a Coffee app or the Super Thanks button, or just simply leaving comments and liking the videos. I really appreciate your support. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one. I also meant to mention that coming very soon is another collaboration with a load of other amazing YouTube furniture restorers. It's another challenge where you can actually vote for your favourite, but I'll tell you about that in more detail very shortly. So if you're not subscribed, click subscribe and you'll make sure you won't miss out on that challenge.